Are you looking to find out how long it takes to close on a house? Well, I'm going to give you 4 or 5 different points to help clear that question up. I'm going to do it right now. Hi everyone, my name's Ty Eden. I'm a realtor with Exit Realty Redefined in Wheaton, Illinois. And today we're going to talk about how long it takes to buy a house. Now, as a point of reference, the time period it takes to buy a house can be anywhere from a couple of weeks, say 6 weeks, to 6 months. So everyone's circumstance is going to be a little bit different. But if you follow some of these steps that I point out in this video, it should take you hopefully less than 6 months. The biggest hurdle is going to be finding the actual home that you want to buy. The first thing that you want to address is qualifying for a mortgage. You want to go find a mortgage lender that you can get what they call a pre-approval from. What a pre-approval means is the mortgage lender is going to obtain financial information from you. How much you owe, how much you make, and whatever other aspects of your financial situation may be. From that, they're going to be able to determine how much of a mortgage you can qualify for. That's important because then that tells you how much of a house you can afford to buy. Now, qualifying with a mortgage lender only takes maybe a few days to a week, depending on if there's any kind of hurdles, such as your personal credit score. If there's challenges with your personal credit, then you've got an obstacle you have to overcome, and that's get those bad marks that are on your personal credit score dealt with. So just as the process sounds pre-approval, you want that to be before you actually go out and buy a house. You want to get pre-approved. So that way you get a pre-approval letter. So when you do go out to start hunting for your home, when you find one, they see a pre-approval letter that you present with your offer on the home. They know you mean business. They know you're qualified. So that accelerates the buying process quite a bit. Now, the next step is to find a good real estate agent. Now, like in any other industry, you're going to have rock star performers that are real estate agents, and then you're going to have some folks that are just real dogs. They drag their feet, they drag the process out, so forth. Go to people that you know and that you trust and ask for some references. See if you can get a couple of names of some agents that are maybe rock stars, but also you can connect with as well, because it's real important that you're able to communicate with this agent as well as have them help you find the house that you truly desire. A rock star agent should be able to help you find a house within a few days to a week if they know the area that you're looking to move into. If you don't know the area, they're going to help you find the area that you want as well. Those agents that are just kind of average schmo realtors are going to drag the thing out for several weeks. So make sure you interview the agent. If you're on a strict timeline, find out what steps the agent can take to kind of help accelerate the process so you can possibly get into that house a little bit quicker, that house that you actually have success making an offer on. The next step is actually shopping for the house. So this can vary based on how much time you've got available to put towards that effort. A real estate agent can bring the opportunities to you because it's very simple for them to make the searches in the MLS, as well as you can go on to the various retail sites that are out there, Trulia, Realtor.com, Zillow, and so forth, to also compare to the realtors list. But you got to have a good idea of where it is that you want to move to, and also do good old-fashioned driving around to take a look at these houses as well. Now, if you work full-time, then really your time to look at these houses is going to be limited to the weekends. So if you have a lot of time, you really want to put this good effort into this whole process, it can take 3 to 6 weeks to ultimately find that actual house that you want to make some offers on or an offer on. If it's not a priority and you're just putting some less than whole effort into the process, then it can take longer than that 6 weeks. So that's a little bit of a timeline, but again, it all depends on the effort that you want to put into it as far as finding that house. Next step is negotiating with the seller. Now, this can move very quickly or it can drag out for a day or two. But once you make an offer, if the seller accepts it, that's a binding contract. The seller has 3 options that they can work with as far as your offer is concerned. They can accept it and sign the contract. They can just deny it and make it go away. Or lastly, they can make a counteroffer. More often than not, sellers are going to make a counteroffer to your offer, and at that point it's your option whether or not you want to accept their revised terms. If you decide not to accept their revised terms, then the offer is dead. You move on to the next house. So when you found that true home, you've made an offer. Again, going back and forth between buyer and seller can take 24 to 48 hours. Generally not too much longer unless there's some sort of extenuating circumstances related to the house or the offer, whatever the case may be. So there are caveats. Once the seller and the buyer have agreed upon the actual terms of the sale of the house, now what happens is that contract then ends up going to your mortgage lender that you went to get pre-approved, and then it goes to underwriting. And the underwriting department is the folks that actually do a more extensive and thorough look at the house, which is the collateral, and borrowers. So they'll do a much more thorough investigation on both. An appraisal will be ordered, so that way the bank can see how much the house is worth lending against. Underwriting can take 3 to 6 weeks, generally to close. Once you've made an offer, everything's been accepted, you're anywhere from 45 to 60 days. Some exceptions, if you're paying cash, can be as quick as 30 days. Final step is escrow and closing. Now, as I had previously said, once your contract, agreed to contract with the seller has been submitted to your mortgage company, the mortgage company is they're going to do their own thing as far as all the underwriting is concerned. In that time period, which could be 30 days, 60 days, some cases maybe a little bit longer if there's any kind of snafus, you as the buyer can go out with a home inspector and do an inspection of the home to see if there's any underlying issues with the home that you as an unexperienced buyer may not have seen. In the contract with the seller, you will have also given your mortgage company an escrow, so a deposit, a good faith deposit that goes towards the purchase. That shows the seller that you're serious about purchasing the home along with your pre-approval letter. Now also in the contract there's going to be an agreed to closing day. Typically those closing days are again between 30, 45, 60 days unless there's some sort of extenuating circumstances between the buyer and the seller, some sort of contingencies. Those can vary greatly. So what it looks like at closing is the buyer and the seller come to an agreed location, that the title company oversees the closing. That's the transfer of funds, transfer of title, title company issues an insurance policy to make sure that title passes without any encumbrances. The mortgage lender actually issues the funds to the title company, and then the title company transfers those funds to whoever is deserving of those funds on the seller's behalf, whether there's a mortgage in place, it's mortgage free, whatever the case may be. At that same meeting for the closing is when there's an exchange of keys, and voila, the buyer has now bought a home. Now in another video after this, we'll expand on some more details as far as escrow, title insurance, and things of that nature. So hopefully you've gotten a lot of information out of this video. Just click over here, right over on this side over here, to subscribe to any videos that we come out with. Hit the bell and you'll be notified of any future videos. We try and come out with a new video each week. And with that, thank you for checking in with us. My name is Ty Eden, Exit Realty Redefined. Have a great day.